In today's video, I'm gonna show you all of my all-time favorite books, except one because I lent it to somebody. I'm gonna separate into different categories because I had so many eras in my life where I was only reading psychological and self-help books, like documentary, everything except sci-fi and fantasy. I'm really conflicted with fantasy and sci-fi. So we're gonna start with self-help. I'm gonna be honest, I read tons of self-help books. 4 of them weren't shitty. I'm serious. Most of them, I see them as just a bunch of motivational quotes and nothing more. I prepared 2 of them. So the first one is called Swimming by Susanna Seberg. You're gonna see entirely different titles. I'm not from an English-speaking country. I have the original titles written on this note. It's really quick and easy. The language isn't super professional. She's explaining all the biological things, all the chemical stuff, and really easy language. You don't have to think too much to understand it. And the thing that is really important to me is that she's not biased, because she started writing that book when she hasn't even tried winter swimming before. So she tries it for the first time with the people, she talks with the people she interviews, and you know, it shows like both sides because she is not keen on it. Okay, it's okay now. I read it in like 3 days. It was a pleasure to me because it's something that I have never thought of. I was like, why would I bathe in ice cold water? Like, she told me all the profits, and I still haven't tried it, but this thing really made me want to. So yeah, even if you're that person that is always cold, this is gonna make you want it. Another one is such a classic, you're probably gonna roll your eyes when I show you this, but it's obviously Atomic Habits. Yeah, that's the original title. People aren't lying when they say this is life-changing, because it is. Also, is actually showing real-life examples that aren't like anonymous people who said that it worked. It's actually like sport teams and huge companies actually been shown that it works. It's actually like, it's 200 pages of actual book. I promise, if it's not gonna be life-changing, you're actually going to take something out of it, like, I swear. Okay, moving from self-help to autobiography. Did I say it right? I hope I said it right. So the first one is Educated by Tara Westover. This book covers on her story of growing up in a Mormon family, but it doesn't really focus so much on the fact that they're Mormon. It's more about the pathology of this family. This is hard to believe that somebody lives like this, and it's probably not the only family that lives like this still. So she grew up in a very extremely small community because they almost didn't contact anybody but their family, and try to make everything themselves so they don't have to rely on anybody. This was terrifying. This was terrifying. I couldn't believe that people live like this, that situations like this happen, because it's almost like cartoon-like, horror cartoon-like. How going to college has absolutely changed her life. Actually, all of the books in this category are a hard read, okay? Like, even if the language is easy, it's going to be a really hard read. It's not something that you can relax to. Another one is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Janet McCarthy. It's the actress that played in Sam and Cat and in iCarly. And if you, like me, grew up with iCarly and Sam and Cat, this is gonna destroy your fun of watching this. If you ever want to watch it again, you're not gonna look at it the same. It also kind of covers her life as a Mormon, her toxic relationship with her mom, how much it has affected her life in a very negative way. It's kind of a guide on what not to do when you have a child. The language is very easy, it's quick to read, but you don't wanna read it quick because this is exhausting. And the last book in this category is Children from the Zoo Station by Christian F. I have something to say about this book because I don't know how it looks in original because obviously I haven't read it in German. I am really mad that nobody has edited this book because it's actually an audio description of an interview with Christian F, who was and still is heroin addict, and on her story how she started taking drugs at the age of 12. This is, as you see, this doesn't have many pages. It's 200 pages. It took me like 2 months to read it because it's not edited. It's the audio description that is not edited, so it's just a flow of words, and sometimes the sentences don't make sense or there's no interpunction. You can't understand what she's saying. It's really hard to read, not only because of the topic but also because of the way she speaks. And I'm really mad that it's not edited because I think many people would benefit from reading it, but many probably will give up on reading it because of the language. So yeah, but overall I think it's also a great guide on what not to do and how to not waste your youth and actually your entire life. She kind of like Roman Empire, that she's still alive. She's still a heroin addict and she's still alive. That's actually crazy to me. I don't know how it looks in different languages. Really, I don't think it's edited better in any other language. So if you are very stubborn, I recommend reading it, but it's hard to read it. Also, in this version, do you see how tiny the letters are? And the font is like in a text message. It's not Times New Roman. Let's move to fiction. First one in this category is Butter by Asako Yuzuki. It's like marketed as a criminal book. It kind of is, but it's more of a psychological book showing how the main character is a journalist. I think her name was Rika? I don't know, everybody was named like Rika, Reiko or stuff like that, so it's really hard to remember. And it shows how much her life changes when she gets to interview and talk with a woman in prison who is said to kill many men. And how much her perception of her changes as she talks with her like a woman with a woman. I really devoured it in like 2 days. I just came back from school and I was reading until the sun went down. For some it might be kind of boring because it's just cooking and talking and cooking and talking. Some parts were kind of disappointing to me, but anyways, I had so much fun and I really recommend it. Also the cover is so pretty. Next one is The Wedding People by Alison Espach. When I only had a chance, I was reading it and I found myself like sitting at the dinner table and I was like, I wonder what's going on later in this book, which is very rare. I usually don't have feelings like this. So I really felt like it's like my Tamagotchi and I have to check on it. It's about, well, I would want to tell you, but on the back, it is very mysterious on the back. It says nothing. It's about a woman going to a hotel to spend the night there, but the entire hotel is reserved for a wedding and for the wedding guests, but she is not the guest. And what is she doing there? Okay, I hope I was mysterious enough. The man named Uwe by Fredrik Backman. Oh my god, do you see that? I would want to tell you that this was caused by my tears. I would lie, but also it would be possible because I cried like a baby. The movie with Tom Hanks is great, but the book is greater. It's about a like depressed old man who is mourning after the death of his loved wife. Then new neighbors move in. I'm not gonna tell you more. I don't want to spoil. This was just so hard. What is it? Oh, I really need to read more books in English. I think if I had to actually choose one book that I would have to reread to the end of my life or never read a book again, this would be this book. It's great. I don't have any other things to say. And the last one is Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kuang. I also devoured it in I think maybe even one day. This is crazy. This is a psychological book, and this one is especially hard to talk about because literally the action starts in the first like 2 pages. You know what it kind of reminds me of now? Okay, this is gonna sound hilarious. What is it called though? Okay, I have it. Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. This is gonna sound hilarious. It shows how affected you get by a constant feeling of guilt. It is really what Tarantino meant when he said a good movie starts with an earthquake and then it keeps going. I don't know how is that called. It's really hard to speak about these books without spoiling them. This is my worst nightmare, to spoil somebody a good book. Like me, and you have like the same taste that you can tell by the other books, you are going to devour it very quickly. So this is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I am speaking with sense because I feel like I lost so many English words in my head. I hope that you liked any of these books and that maybe made you want to read any of these, or maybe you have already read some of these and you can tell me down in the comments if you like them or maybe you didn't. I would really like to see some other opinions on these books, maybe a negative ones, because I really like to see other people's perspective. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.